Hi lovelies, welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok and I thought to show you guys where Mexicans are actually having emotional meltdown after finding out that they can never be white. Guys, I was able to put up some stitches. I'm just going to roll it. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes, lovelies. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into it.
So this is what happens when you get caught in Mexico. How did they even find me in the first place? I was coming back from a concert in a bus stop at a toll booth. Some guy came in asking for ID. I showed him my California ID, but I didn't have my passport. Next thing I knew, I was in a van. I got to the immigration office. They patted me down, took away all my belongings. They looked me up and they saw that I overstayed my 180-day tourist visa. Long story short, they didn't let me leave the immigration.
So this Latina, who is a Trump supporter, got deported from Mexico back to the US, and I want to use this video to show y'all, no matter how hard you try, you will never be white. And I say that because she made videos going, oh, look, people are making too big of a deal about Trump and the deportations. He's only going after criminals. If you want to be here, you should do it the right way. Then she goes to Mexico, gets stopped by authorities while she's coming back from a concert. They check her papers and then they deport her. Now, they deported her because she overstayed her visa. I know some people are like, well, you should have done it the right way. Calm down. Let's just give her a little grace here. She's not a criminal. Sure, she has ideologies you don't agree with, but she wasn't committing any crimes. She was down in Mexico partying it up. Now, this is where the you'll never be white part comes in. There's over 1 million undocumented white people living in Mexico. They are taking advantage of the system. They're not paying taxes. They're down there just partying it up. And like advocates in Mexico have been saying, that authorities don't go after white people. They actually go after brown people. So you were racially profiled in a country that you were trying to get dual citizenship for. So if you were racially profiled in Mexico, what do you think is going to happen to you in the US when Trump comes into office? Because there are at least 500,000 white people undocumented in the US, and they're never bothered. Because I need you to remember that the immigration system was never set up to hurt white people. It was set up to hurt people of color globally. Our movements are constantly restricted, while white people are never bothered when they do the same thing we do. So as much as you say, oh, well, if you want to come to this country, you have to do it the right way. It is not about doing it the right way. It is always, the immigration system has always been about hurting black and brown people, no matter where we are in the world. So please keep thinking how you're safe now that you're in the US, back in your home country. They don't see you as a US citizen either. They want to take away your citizenship. They want to denaturalize people. So please, let's get rid of that colonized mind, because this immigration system was never made for us.
Aside from UFOs being over Jersey, the Senate had a hearing on mass deportations, and they touched on an interesting subject: culture, specifically Latino and Hispanic culture. This is what an individual had to say in that meeting.
In order to prepare for this hearing, I was actually looking at statistics over the last couple of days, and most of the rape and murder statistics by illegal immigrants are actually against children. This is the culture that they come from, this kind of violence. They grow up in it in their countries. To them, it's just part of what they've known for their lives.
All the reps in that room is in full agreement with her. So if you Latino and Hispanic and you voted for Trump, that doesn't exempt you from your culture. You truly have to be a special kind of breed of person to align yourself with a group of people who demonize your culture. You don't even have a chance. They're already looking at you as a PDF file, because that's your culture. This is what you was born into. This is what you born to do.
Trust me, if Mexico could join BRICS right now, they would. And at some point, I have no doubt that they probably will. But the reality is that the United States currently has Mexico by the huevos. 85% of Mexico's exports come to the United States. 85%, that's almost everything they produce. Because for one, it's more convenient to just ship their products up north than to ship them overseas. And two, the USMCA trade agreement makes it much more profitable to do business with the United States and Canada because there's no tariffs. But now that the trade agreement is out the window, Mexico is going to have to make some tough decisions. And their first decision is going to be to have to reassess their economic dependence on the United States and how they're going to diversify their trade partnerships. Because for decades, Mexico has leaned on the fact that the United States is right next door and has one of the largest markets in the entire world. So it only made sense to focus their trade relationship on the US. But now that Trump has crapped all over the USMCA trade agreement, the dynamics have totally changed. So does Mexico double down on its reliance on the US, or do they start looking at other options? And don't get me wrong, joining BRICS would be the logical move for Mexico. By aligning with Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, the BRICS nations, Mexico could tap into a whole new rapidly growing market outside of North America. But it's not as easy as just saying that I want to sign up. There's logistics, there's the fact that they have to show value to the BRICS nations, and they have to tiptoe around the United States during the whole process. But I do think that it's going to happen eventually. And I think that Donald Trump is making this decision perfectly clear to them. China is already Mexico's second largest trading partner. In 2023 alone, over $100 billion worth of goods and services were traded between the two countries. There is going to come a point where the United States is not going to be able to bully and coerce countries into bowing down. That time is coming. The global power balance is shifting. And it's not just BRICS. More and more countries are forming alliances to move away from a world dominated by the US economy, dominated by the US dollar. And make no mistake about it, Mexico is absolutely aware that they need to diversify. And not just for their economic security, but for its sovereignty, for its independence. When one country controls 85% of your exports, they essentially control your whole economy. And that's not a position that Mexico or any country would want to remain in for too much longer.
Mexicans and the gold rush, let's talk about it. Let's take it back further when they needed the gold in California. Mexicans played an instrumental role in the gold rush in California in the 1850s. Mexicans in California were the experts in mining gold and silver from California. Mexicans introduced advanced techniques such as the batea, which is the pan that is used in a lot of quintessential movies or when we think about the California gold rush. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo shaped Mexican identity in ways that we are still seeing today. And I can talk more about it in other videos. But when it came to the gold rush, it was pivotal because all of a sudden Mexicans were seen as foreigners because California was lost to the US in the Mexican-American War. What happened next? Surprise, surprise, Mexican faced discrimination, unfair taxes. They were displaced from their lands, subjected to violence, false claims. The Foreign Miners Act of 1850 targeted foreign gold miners and affected Mexicans specifically because it really displaced them from land that was rightfully theirs before the war. How does this tie to the Bracero program that I talked about in my previous videos? Is that the US needs Mexico. It has always needed Mexico. In fact, it has always leaned on Mexico. The issue is that the US has erased our contributions from our history books. Now that the Department of Education is probably going to get dismantled, it is important now more than ever for us Mexicans, all Latinos, all immigrants to know our history. Let me know your thoughts, comments, questions. What else do you want to learn? Let me know below.
Seriously, lovelies, the sooner the Latino people realize that this is not actually all about the illegal immigrants, the better for them. It has everything to do with people or POC or people that looks like me. Like, everything that these guys has been doing is just, a way at which they want to maintain their supremacy. They don't want any, person that looks like me or even, POC, around the globe. If they can actually come for both birthrights, even documented, they use even the case of naturalization, that means that they are actually ahead of people. Like their plans are even beyond the undocumented immigrants. There is actually this, video I stitched last time concerning, this deportation that might actually affect every other person. It was said that the deportation will not really affect those other pan-colored people from maybe Canada or Australia or any other place, but the target was just for POC people, black people. The thing is that this will actually end up affecting every individual, be you who you are, but so far you are a POC or even a black person. Don't be surprised that you, as someone that is actually a citizen with no any doubts, might be approached, might actually be embarrassed, or might be like you might expect these people wherever you are, your working place, your houses, or whatsoever, to embarrass you, to show your papers of citizenships and all of that. This is the way at which things has actually gone to book us, but people who do not actually want to understand how these things works. People that look like me have tried their possible best, even during the campaign and all of that, to make you guys understand that this thing that you people think that it's all about, oh, illegal immigrants, it's just going to affect illegal immigrants. It's probably going to affect every individual. It's no longer only illegal immigrants. Don't be surprised that even the citizens will also be affected by this. But what do I know? This is exactly what the majority want. This is exactly what 70% of Latinos or Hispanic people voted for. So I think it's time to deal with it. Just imagine you as a Latino person with your on the process of your dual citizen. You decided to go first of all with your treatment to your own country, and you are automatically deported, or because of but there are so many pan-colored people who are actually in your own country and living there, not paying taxes or whatsoever, but they are still living comfortably. Why didn't they also get deported? So to tell you that all of these things is just propaganda, and it's actually affects some group of people, and it doesn't affect some group of people. This is just how the game is. It's not all about illegal immigrants. There is more to it, and the more people try to understand this, just the way at which the first guy I stitched his video was trying to explain, the better for Latino people to open their eyes. But how do I know? What do I know? Most of them don't even want to listen to people that look like me. They see them as maybe enemy of progress. There's this particular comments that I saw, and I was just so laughing. This person was like, okay, he actually voted for the orange man because he feels that no matter anything, since they look the same way as them, like they will actually be accepted one day to be pan-colored. Like, who told you that? Who, like, have you ever, do you know about Angel Rodriguez? He is going to tell you what to expect. They don't care. They don't really care who you are. The only thing that they care about is how to maintain their supremacy, and that is it. The sooner you accept it and move on with that, the better for every other person with all of the confusion. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like, leave your thought, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.
Watch up to this extent. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright, lovelies, so please share, subscribe, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.